Hello there. I'm Dr. Robert Floyd, board certified MD specializing in functional medicine, and today I am here with Insomnia. This billion-dollar sleep supplement may be disrupting your body's natural sleep system, and almost no one knows that it's happening because it works at first. You take it, you fall asleep, you wake up thinking, finally, something that worked. So you keep taking it night after night after night. But what you don't see and what you can't see is what's happening inside your brain while you sleep. There's a tiny gland buried deep in your brain that produces the hormone controlling your sleep-wake cycle. Most people have never heard of it, but it controls whether you fall asleep naturally or lie awake for hours. And this supplement may be interfering with its natural function. We're talking about the pineal gland and melatonin. And not only might this supplement not be addressing your sleep challenges, it may actually be creating a dependency that makes it harder to sleep without it. You see, melatonin is often mistaken for a natural sedative, but that's not how it works. Its real function is to tell your body what time of day it is. When the sun goes down and darkness hits your eyes, your brain begins producing melatonin as a signal that night has begun. This signal helps coordinate your circadian rhythm, the internal 24-hour clock that actually determines when you feel alert, when you feel sleepy, and when your body needs its nightly repair cycle. When you take melatonin as a supplement, you aren't helping this system, you're overriding it. Your brain sees the externally supplied melatonin and naturally responds by reducing its own production. Over time, this can cause your pineal gland to become less responsive, making it harder for your brain to initiate sleep on its own. This is the same feedback loop seen with other hormones. When the body receives an outside supply, it scales back its own natural output. This is part of why people who use melatonin nightly eventually find they have difficulty sleeping without it. Not because they were deficient to begin with, but because the body gradually produces less of it. Here, there is another concern as well. Melatonin doesn't operate in isolation. It interacts with reproductive hormones, metabolic hormones, and cortisol. It may also affect cortisol's natural evening decline, interfering with insulin signaling and disrupt the balance of other endocrine pathways. None of this happens from 1 or 2 nights of use, but chronic long-term use is where these risks begin to show up. And then there's the issue of dosing. Your body naturally produces about 0.3 milligrams of melatonin per night. Many store-bought supplements contain 3, 5, or even 10 milligrams, 10 to 30 times what your brain would ever release. Overshooting this signal can leave you groggy in the morning. It can disrupt REM sleep. It can alter nighttime hormone rhythms and create a hangover that doesn't feel like natural rest. So yes, melatonin can knock you out, but sedation and healthy sleep are not the same thing. And relying on a hormone your body is supposed to regulate on its own can create more problems than it actually solves. But if melatonin isn't addressing the root factors, then what is? For most people who struggle with occasional sleeplessness, the issue isn't timing, it's physiology. Many people lie awake because their mind is racing, running through tomorrow's responsibilities or replaying yesterday's memories. Mental stress keeps the brain in a state of heightened alertness, making it difficult to shift into rest mode. Others find that their nervous system never truly powers down. Their body remains stuck in mild fight or flight state, releasing just enough adrenaline and cortisol to prevent deep relaxation. These barriers have nothing to do with melatonin levels, which is why taking more melatonin never solves them. You can flood your body with timing signals, but if your muscles are tense, your mind is overactive, and your nervous system is firing too high, the body simply cannot transition to restorative sleep. This is why so many people feel frustrated when melatonin works for a while, only to stop being effective, or leaves them waking up feeling unrefreshed. What research consistently shows is that one of the most common physiological issues behind these symptoms is suboptimal magnesium levels. Magnesium is required for over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, many of them related to muscle relaxation and nervous system regulation. When your magnesium levels are low, your muscles remain tight, your stress response stays activated, and your nervous system has difficulty shifting out of alert mode. This creates internal conditions that can interfere with natural sleep, and no amount of melatonin can support a body that's physically unable to relax. So, what's the solution to this? Should you shift to magnesium-rich foods or try something else? Yes, adding more magnesium-rich foods to your diet can and will help support healthy levels, but it may not be enough anymore. Due to mass production and the commercial scale of the food industry, our soils are getting stripped of essential minerals. The food we eat these days grows on depleted soils that contain 50 to 80% less nutrients than just 100 years ago, which means that even the best dietary choices are not enough to achieve optimal optimal levels of magnesium for supporting sleep quality and overall wellness. That's why people take supplements. But there are dozens and dozens of magnesium compounds on the market. Each is intended to be used for different purposes. Despite that, most magnesium supplements on the market today only contain one or two forms, making them incomplete. This is why millions of people who take magnesium every day show little to no improvement in their sleep quality. Even when they do take the right form of magnesium, most of it never reaches the organs where they need it to be. And that is because of the physical and chemical barriers that protect your body from getting diseases. Your intestinal walls, your bloodstream, they're all designed to block things from getting through unless they're in the right form. This is where chelation comes in. Chelated magnesium is bonded to amino acids, which makes it recognizable to your body. It can actually cross through your intestinal walls, get absorbed into your bloodstream, and reach your brain and muscles where you need it most. That's why the most effective approach isn't just taking any magnesium supplement off the shelf. Your body needs the right type of magnesium in a chelated form that can actually be absorbed at the right dose, at the right time, and ideally combined with good sleep hygiene practices. That's why the first step is optimizing your magnesium levels with a full spectrum magnesium formula. Not a single formula supplement. A true full spectrum dose contains multiple chelated forms like L-threonate, glycinate, malate, taurate, aspartate, orotate, and citrate. Each one supports a different aspect of your body's natural relaxation responses. L-threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier to calm those racing thoughts. Glycinate relaxes tight muscles. Malate supports energy balance before bed. Taurate eases the nervous system out of fight or flight, and so on. Together, these forms create a synchronized effect that helps your body power down naturally. Taking them 30 to 60 minutes before bed signals your brain, your muscles, and your nervous system that it's time to relax now, supporting your body's natural sleep processes in a way that melatonin simply cannot do. Zonya's formula was created with all those things in mind, so if you're interested in trying it for yourself, you can check the link in the description or on the screen here. Magnesium alone isn't the complete picture, not because it's weak, but because the right conditions around it can make its effect dramatically stronger. Magnesium is the anchor of your sleep system, and when the environment around it is aligned, its impact becomes several times more powerful. The chelated forms in a full spectrum blend already calm your nerves, relax your muscles, and help your nervous system shift out of fight or flight. But when you pair this with the right pre-sleep behaviors, each of these behaviors acts like an amplifier that helps magnesium work deeper and faster inside your body. For example, when you practice slow breathing, light stretching, or guided relaxation before bed, you naturally lower cortisol levels. Lower cortisol levels make it easier for magnesium to activate your GABA pathways, your brain's built-in braking system. Instead of magnesium trying to calm a stressed, wired brain, it's now working on a system that is already shifting towards rest. This creates a synergy where your mind settles twice as quickly because the formula and the relaxation practices are reinforcing each other. A consistent sleep schedule strengthens this effect even further. When you go to bed at the same time every night, your internal clock becomes predictable. That means magnesium threonate, one of the chelated forms designed to cross into the brain, reaches your neurons at the exact same moment your circadian rhythms expect things to quiet down. This alignment between timing, chemistry, and brain signaling makes a supplement feel noticeably stronger because your biology is now working with it instead of against it. Your sleep environment also plays a major role. A dark, cool room naturally increases your own melatonin production. Melatonin isn't a sedative, it's a timing cue that tells your brain, hey, night has begun. When that cue rises and magnesium is already calming your nervous system, the two work like complementary signals. Melatonin sets the rhythm, magnesium handles the relaxation. Together, they guide your brain into deep sleep far more smoothly than melatonin supplements ever could. But the synergy doesn't stop at night. Getting sunlight in the morning boosts serotonin, which your brain later converts into melatonin after dark. So by the time you take your magnesium at night, your hormones are already primed for rest. Magnesium then completes the cycle by calming your brain, relaxing your muscles, and helping your nervous system fully shut down. Morning sunlight sets the foundation. Magnesium finishes the job. Even reducing evening screen time plays into this loop as well. Blue light suppresses your natural melatonin production, which forces magnesium to work even harder. When you limit screen exposure at night, melatonin rises the way it's supposed to, creating the perfect environment for magnesium to do what it does best: quiet your system and guide you into real sleep. All of these pieces feed into each other. Magnesium calms your brain. Relaxation practices make its effects deeper. A consistent sleep schedule aligns its timing with your natural rhythms. A dark, cool room amplifies melatonin's power, and morning sunlight prepares your hormones for the next night. And limiting blue light protects the entire cycle. Each step strengthens the next, and the formula strengthens all of them. This is why magnesium isn't just a supplement. When paired with these sleep-supporting practices, it becomes the center of a complete sleep support system. One where every part enhances the next, and every night of sleep gets better than the one before. When you combine the right magnesium supplementation with these proven sleep practices, you're not just masking the problem like melatonin does. You are actually addressing the root causes of insomnia. Look, if you're watching this, you probably know what it feels like to lie awake at night, wondering why nothing seems to help. I've been there myself. I've tried melatonin. I've experimented with different doses, and I felt the same frustration when I realized I wasn't addressing the underlying factors. That's exactly why Zonya's team spent months working with lab researchers to create a magnesium formula that actually supports the body's natural relaxation and sleep systems. Restore Sleep has 7 chelated forms of magnesium, including L-threonate, formulated specifically to reach your brain cells, where most of sleep regulation happens. If you want to try it, the link is in the description or on the screen here. Hope you get a good night's sleep.